Hello friends, I am coming to you all today with just some kind of tips and tricks and things I've been going through while I'm going out my locks. So let's get into it. First things first is, if you are growing out your locks, make sure that you keep the new growth moisturized. So that means all these beautiful naps and textures that are not locks. You can't neglect that because really that's it. That's the foundation for the hair that you're going to be left with if you cut them off or comb them out. So you really want to make sure that you're moisturizing that hair. So I like to keep some oil, some mixes of different oils, like, and I have shea butter oil and grapeseed and jojoba and tea tree and coconut, just whatever oils I can get my hands on, and mix them together in the color applicator. And then I just, go down kind of like in a grid fashion and then really massage it in to make sure that I'm not neglecting that new growth so it doesn't break off before I even have a chance to love it. Okay, so number 2, pay attention to the kitchen. And what I mean by kitchen is these locks in the back. This is the kitchen right here, the back, the nape of the neck. So what I found is that my hair, because it's been locked for 5 years, has I think I've kind of trained it to lock on its own. So I'm finding that the ones in the back are really locking on their own more than the ones in the front. So I don't know if you can see this, but so back here I only have a little bit of new growth on these locks in the back, right? So maybe about an inch or two, about 2 inches, right? Compared to these in the front with all this new growth, all this. And I don't know why that is. I think maybe like, women in the back, and actually I really don't know. But so the ones in the back, they're locking by themselves much easier and pretty quick. So what I find myself doing is periodically just going through and running my fingers through the top of the lock, the new growth that hasn't really locked all the way yet, and just kind of unlocking it from the top, going backwards. So if this is one of the ones in the back, the lock starts here, which means like right here, the top of the lock is still kind of loose, not all the way locked in yet. So I just kind of periodically go through and try and like just loosen the top of the lock, the hair at the top, just to make sure that it doesn't, lock all the way up. Now I'm glad that it's so easy for me to manipulate my hair. We've been working at this for a couple of years now, so I'm glad we finally got to a point where we could do that. But it's crazy because when I was retwisting my hair, it always seemed like my retwist wouldn't stay when I wanted them to stay. Now that I'm not retwisting, my hair still wants to retwist on its own. So I don't know. You gotta let it do its own thing, but pay attention to the ones in the back because they will lock up on you, and then that's more work for you if you're combing them out, or if you're cutting them off, then you'll have to either have the back of your hair shorter, which is okay. That's kind of cute sometimes. So the back of your hair will either be shorter, or you'll have to end up cutting the rest of your hair to match the hair in the back. So pay attention to that. Number 3, don't let the locks grow together. So essentially I'm freeforming right now. What that means is that they're going to do whatever they want to do. And a big part of that is my locks will kind of clump together and lock together. Let me see if I can find some. I just had to pull a bunch of them apart yesterday. But like, especially when I'm doing different styles, so I like the pipe cleaners, and I'll do like 2-strand twists sometimes. Styles like that where part of the style is kind of to twist the hair, and to twist multiple locks together, because the new growth is there, they'll just kind of like stick together. I don't know if that makes sense. But so you kind of have to go through, periodically and just like make sure that they're not locking together, because they definitely will. I got kind of worried with a couple of them yesterday because they were like, I almost had to go in with the comb and get them. Let me see. But you don't want that to happen. Okay, here we go. So these are 2 locks, right? See how at the top they're connected. I don't want that. That's because I do pipe cleaner curls. And when I do my pipe cleaners, I take two and I wrap them around together like this, all the way up to the root. So they're essentially twisted together. So all I have to do when that happens, I try and be pretty gentle. And so I start at like the bottom where it's first connected and just kind of start to pull the hairs loose, or towards the top, right? And you just kind of got to get in there. You really don't want to have to rip it apart, but essentially that's what it comes down to. I don't have a comb on me, but and so you can just pull them apart like that, okay? And then again, I'll run my finger or run my nails through to make sure that it's not locked all the way at the top, because that's the opposite of what we're trying to accomplish here. And let's see, the last thing is to, I really have to kind of be creative. I think that some people look so beautiful when they let their locks just grow and don't retwist them, but I don't think I have that luxury. I can get away with it sometimes, like, you know, today I got my edges kind of slicked back, and it's okay today, but sometimes it just looks like poof and then straight. Some people can pull it off. I don't think I'm one of those. So I've had to get kind of creative, and the issue I'm running into with that is I find myself a lot of times just wanting to pull it up. We just pull it up into a ponytail, pull it up into a bun, but that's putting a lot of strain on my edges. I try not to do it too much to put too much strain on my edges, because once again, I don't want to break this hair off before it has a chance to really grow in all the way. So I'm having to get creative and maybe like do some twists in the front, or today I had my little Farrah Fawcett bang, like I like to call it, you know, something like this, and then I just tied it up like that, or I'll put a scarf on or things like that. So really get creative and have fun with it. So yeah, I'm still really enjoying this journey, and I'm very dedicated to combing out my locks. It's funny because I'm loving them more now that I'm getting ready to say goodbye, but that's part of the process. I still very much love my locks, but I'm also very excited to start something, do something new. I just wanted to come and share those things with you guys. Some of the things that maybe I wish I would have known before I started growing mine out. Some of the challenges, and just, you know, different ways to combat those challenges or to deal with them. If you've dealt with them before, feel free to let me know, and we'll talk soon. Bye.